Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Hello and happy hump day. It is Wednesday, June 19th, 2019. A little rainy here at the Jersey Shore. They say it's going to stop, but probably showers on and off throughout the day. That's okay. All good in the hood. I can't talk straight. I don't even know why I try. So a shark was found off the coast of Manasquan. That is a little bit north of us, maybe about 40, 45 minutes. Some fishermen came into contact with this great white. They said it's about 19 feet long. And they were so excited. They're all like, yeah, woo, once in a lifetime. It's so funny, the different reactions that people have. Most people would not be happy to see a shark. These guys loved seeing the shark. I don't think they caught the shark. I don't think they were even shark fishing, because I know people shark fish. I don't think that's what they were doing. I think that they just happened to come across it, and they put some bait out, and he was chomping on it. Pretty interesting video if you want to check it out. Just Google shark in Manasquan. I'm sure it would come up. So, yeah, I don't want to see a shark that up close. No interest. I'm good with Jaws. That's the closest I want to get to a real-life shark. Speaking of Jaws and up close and personal, there is a place in Dallas. Did I talk about this? I know that I meant to. I don't think I actually got to it. There's a place in Texas. I'm not sure it's Dallas. There is a place in Texas, though, that has a screening of the movie Jaws in open water. You're lying in a float, and you're just watching the movie. There was somebody who was trying to do this in our area a few years back, because I saw it on Facebook, and I contacted the guy because I was working at the radio station at the time, and I wanted to get him on to talk about it on the radio station. And they were going to do it at a place called Tice's Shoal, which is around here. It's in the Forked River area, where it's kind of like a bay area where a bunch of boats go and just kind of hang out and party. And they were going to do a showing of that there. And the guy I ended up speaking with said that he ultimately was not able to do it because it became so much huger than he thought it would, that they couldn't get like the proper permits and all that stuff. So it never ended up happening. I don't know. I think that would be cool, to be kind of hanging out in the bay and watching Jaws. You know, everybody's going to be trying to scare each other, grabbing each other's foot, their butt, and the float and all of that. I wouldn't like that part, that I can assure you. But I do think it would be a cool experience. So I hope somebody gets something together like that around here at some point, because I would definitely take part in that. But yeah, sharks. 'Cause, you know, the bay. There's no sharks in the bay. No great white sharks in the bay. They stay out in the ocean. For the most part, it's very rare for a shark to get into an inlet and back in the bays. It's just not enough room for them, so they don't even try to go there. But yeah, so I'll keep you posted if I hear anything else about something like that. That was a couple of years ago, and I haven't heard anything since. But I did just read recently that they do indeed have these showings of Jaws in the water somewhere in Texas. So good for them. I think it's really cool. So today we're going to be talking a lot about intuition. And it just so happened that I came across an article about intuitive eating. I thought it was very ironic that I came across this article. Somebody shared it on Facebook. My friend Erin shared it on Facebook. It is a op-ed in the New York Times. It was in Sunday's newspaper. Remember newspapers? They do still make them. Not a lot of them, but they do still make them. So it's a woman, and she's talking about the wellness industry and how we're all falling for it. She's talking about all of these different, they're not calling them diets anymore. They're calling them clean eating and, with these cleanses and all of this stuff. She says at its core, wellness is about weight loss. It demonizes calorie-dense and delicious foods, preserving a vicious fallacy that thin is healthy and healthy is thin. She said she just felt crazy around food. She was an on-diet, off-diet person. That is me to a T. She says she did a desperate thing. She searched intuitive eating online. She said she had a glancing understanding of the philosophy, which encourages a return to the innate wisdom we had as babies about when to stop eating, what tastes good, and how it makes our bodies feel. I've heard about this all my life because, like I said, I've read a million diet books. And there's a number of books that talk about a number of people who said, you know what, I just had to stop the madness with the diet, on a diet, off a diet, and learn to listen to my body. And most of these people would say, yeah, initially I put on like 20 pounds. But after a while, I got the hang of it, because at first you go crazy. You're like, oh, I'm going to eat everything all the time. But then you get the hang of it and you kind of lose a little bit weight and you level off. Now, this woman who wrote this article says that you might always be a little bit bigger than you want to be. So, you have to just be okay with that. She goes on to say that she probably will never learn to love her body, but that doesn't mean that she can't have a good life. She said she went to a new dietitian this time around because the one she had gone to in the past, when she told this dietitian that she loved food, she said she nodded sympathetically as if I had a tough road ahead of me. She said, the thing is, you're a small person and you don't need a lot of food. So when she tried this new dietitian, she said, what a gift to love food. It's one of the greatest pleasures in life. Can you think of your appetite as a gift? She said, it took me a moment to wrap my head around such a radical suggestion. Then I began to cry. So she says 2 years into her work with this dietitian, she says she feels lighter than I ever have. Food is part of my life, a fun part, but it no longer tastes irresistible the way it did when I told myself I couldn't have it. My body looks as it always has when I'm not restricting or binging. I'm not good one day so that I can be bad another. Boy, that sounds familiar. I say that all the time. I've got to be good today because I'm going to be bad over the weekend. She says that that's how she used to foolishly celebrate balance. She says, sometimes when I'm stressed, I still comfort myself with food. And her dietitian assures her that is an acceptable kind of hunger, too. Emotional eating is a coping mechanism. We're told it's an unhealthy habit, one we must break, but that's another wellness lie. She says her binges stopped once she stopped judging herself for wanting to eat the foods wellness vilified, sometimes for reasons other than physical hunger. The problem with intuitive eating is you have to trust yourself enough to be able to do it. Like I said before, a lot of them say, you do kind of go crazy at first and you put on a lot of weight. Like I'm already up about 10 pounds. If you remember correctly, I've been saying for a while, I'm up about 5 pounds. Yeah, now I'm up about 10 pounds. Always want to get a couple more pounds off. So for me to just be okay with putting on another 10 to 20 pounds, I don't know if I could cop to that. That would be having to buy new clothes and just not feeling... I already feel a little too plump in my own body. I sit down, I have that little roll. I want to get rid of that. I'm not sure I could do this intuitive eating. I have to do something different, though, because, it's worked for me to be, and I don't call it a diet, but I do refer to being good, being bad, which my own therapist had said, you need to stop doing that. You're a bad person because you want a cheeseburger. Yeah, I get what she's saying. So it's one of those things that you have to learn as you go, but you have to be willing in the interim to be okay with how you look, appear, feel, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure I'm there yet, but the next couple of weeks are going to be tough for me to stay good, so to speak. I've got my cousin coming tomorrow. And then Joe, my husband, is on vacation, so I don't think that I'm going to be, he's not going to want to eat chicken and broccoli every night for dinner, and I don't blame him. I don't mind my chicken and broccoli, actually. As you eat more healthier foods, you start to crave them. And, one of my favorite things is after I get back from the gym in the morning, I make myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I make it on just one piece of bread, spread the peanut butter over the whole piece, and then just a little slab of jelly just to kind of give it a little sweetness, so to speak. And fold that over, eat that as a half a sandwich, and then drink a cup of coffee. I really look forward to that. It's tasty to me. I love my chicken. Do I love burgers and pizza more? Absolutely. But I don't think I would want to eat burgers and pizza every night. But certainly more than I am now. We had burgers and dogs for dinner on Saturday. It was the first time we had them in a while, probably a month, which is very strange for us because I love my burgers and dogs. And I think last summer we might have had them at least once a week because Joe probably gets tired of them too. I'm like, can we do burgers and dogs? And he's like, yeah, let's do burgers and dogs. And sometimes I feel like he's just doing it because he knows that's what I want, which he probably is. And that's why I love him. He's so sweet. So we hadn't had them in a while because I had been trying to, again, be good the last couple of weekends. So I don't know. I don't know if I could trust myself to do this intuitive eating. Could you? Would you be able to trust yourself enough to know when to stop? Would you be able to get enough of the healthy foods in to, maybe not put on weight, to make enough of a balance so that you're still getting healthy foods in, foods that are good for your body, that won't harm your heart and potentially give you diabetes, and foods that are going to give you energy? I'm not sure. I'm going to put some thought into it. I'm trying to be a little more conscious with my choices, even though, like I said, the next week and a half, I'm probably not going to be on my regular healthy eating plan. I'm going to try not to go crazy and eat everything in sight, because that's what happens when you do this. You have this mentality of on a diet, off a diet. So when you're off the diet, you're like, screw it, I'm going to eat everything in sight. So I've gotten that in check a little bit. There's still times when I go a little bit crazy, but that's the great thing about intuitive eating, is if you give yourself permission to eat anything you want whenever you want, there's no reason to binge. There's going to be times when you overeat because things just taste really good. But for the most part, you won't feel this need to get everything in at once because you can have it whenever you want. So that part of it I think is very good. I shared this op-ed article on the Hopefulist group page. If you would like to check it out, I asked if you thought you would be able to trust yourself enough to be an intuitive eater. So chime in on that and let me know. By the way, the Hopefulist group page, I have my Hopefulist page that I post all of my blogs and podcasts on daily. That is also where I ask my question for the topic of the day for the next day. But the group page is for all of us. It's mostly for you guys. I would like you guys to chime in on the group page, share some pictures, tell me some things that you like, dislike about the podcast. Tell me some things, some topics that you think would be fun to go over. Maybe something that you want me to concentrate on in one of my blogs, maybe a topic or an area, subject area that you've been waiting to hear and I haven't gotten to. Let me know what it is. I'll work it in. So the group page is for all of us, and it doesn't have to be show related. You can just post pictures of whatever. Let me see pictures of your pets. Let me see pictures of your pedicure. I want this page to be active. I want you guys to be, in this with me. Let's do it together. What else? I'm going to talk about my topic. Now, I kind of threw this topic on at the last minute. I'm going to be honest. So, I'm talking about intuition today. Like I said, the intuitive eating. The topic that I'm going to be talking about, behaviors to adopt, is